Buffalo Bills running back LeSean McCoy reacts after scoring the winning touchdown during overtime at an NFL football game against the Indianapolis Colts. Sunday, Dec. 10, 2017, in Orchard Park, NY. AP photo, Adrian Krause. Photo, The Associated Press. Orchard Park, NY. AP. LeSean McCoy scored on a 21-yard run with 1:33 left in overtime to secure the Buffalo Bills' 13-7 win over the Indianapolis Colts in a wintry whiteout setting best suited for snowshoes and sled dogs. McCoy finished with 156 yards rushing and topped the 1,000-yard mark for the sixth time in his career on a slick, snow-covered field. The Bills' sideline erupted after McCoy's touchdown, with numerous players running onto the field to either make snow angels or engage in celebratory snowball fights. Buffalo, 7-6, stayed alive in the AFC playoff picture, while the Colts, 3-10, were mathematically eliminated from playoff contention. The game began in nearly whiteout conditions with a major lake-effect storm blowing in off nearby Lake Erie. The snow fell so hard a half-hour before kickoff it was nearly impossible to see New Era Field's West End scoreboard from the East End stands. McCoy's touchdown came on Buffalo's second possession of overtime. Facing 3rd and 2, McCoy found a crease up the middle and had enough footing to cut to his left and scamper into the end zone untouched. It was a topsy-turvy game played in a snow globe setting, with a regular parade of work crews taking the field with snow blowers on their backs to clear the yard lines. Early in the third quarter, fans were even treated to a rare meteorological event of thunder snow as lightning flashed over the stadium. The game was not stopped. So much snow accumulated on the roof of the first-level suites that fans began building snowmen. Packers 27, Dolphins 21. Cleveland, AP. Brett Hundley threw a 25-yard touchdown pass to Davante Adams in overtime as the Packers rallied from a 2-touchdown deficit in the fourth quarter. Cleveland fell to 0-13 and made too many crucial mistakes to break into the win column. On 3rd and 6, Hundley threw a short pass to Adams, who broke a tackle and went in untouched with 5:05 left as the Packers, 7-6, won in overtime for the second straight week and third time this season. The Packers have stayed alive in the playoff race without Rodgers, who has been out since October 15 with a broken collarbone, but is expected to play next Sunday. It was another devastating loss for the Browns. 0-13. Green Bay's TD came after safety Josh Jones intercepted Browns rookie DeShone Kizer, who inexplicably threw the ball up for grabs while being pressured by Clay Matthews. Down 21-14 heading into the fourth period, the Packers, who beat Tampa Bay last week in overtime, rallied on Hundley's 1-yard TD pass to Adams with 17 seconds left in regulation. A 65-yard punt return by Trevor Davis set up Green Bay's score, which came after Hundley was ruled down inside the 1 after an apparent 6-yard scoring run. Out of timeouts, coach Mike McCarthy elected not to risk a run and Hundley rifled his pass into the corner for Adams, who beat Jason McCourty on the play. Chiefs 26, Raiders 15. Kansas City, Mo. AP. Kareem Hunt ran for 116 yards and a touchdown and the Chiefs shut down Derek Carr and his offense to snap a 4-game losing streak. The suddenly stingy Chiefs, 7-6, also made a big statement in the crowded AFC West race. They entered the game tied atop the division standings with the Raiders, 6-7, and the Chargers, who played Washington later Sunday and visit Kansas City on Saturday night. Alex Smith threw for 268 yards and Sharkhandrick West had a touchdown run for the Chiefs. who held the Raiders without points until Marshawn Lynch's 22-yard run with 8:51 to go. By that point, the Chiefs were cruising toward their 14th win in 15 divisional games. Carr was 24 of 41 for 211 yards with the touchdown and 2 picks, a far cry from his performance when the teams met in October. Carr threw for 417 yards and 3 touchdowns that day, including the winning toss to Michael Crabtree on the final play of the game. That loss was part of a mid-season swoon for Kansas City, which started 5-0 but lost 6 of 7 to fall into a tie for the division lead and put its once solid playoff prospects in peril. Panthers 31, Vikings 24. Charlotte, N.C. AP. Jonathan Stewart ran for 103 yards and 3 touchdowns, and the Panthers snapped the Vikings' 8-game winning streak. Cam Newton threw for a touchdown and ran for 75 yards as the Panthers, 9-4, racked up 216 yards on the ground against the league's No. 2 ranked defense to pull even with the Saints atop the NFC South standings. Carolina sacked Case Keenum 6 times and forced 3 turnovers to keep the Vikings 10-3 from clinching the NFC North Division title. After the Panthers squandered an 11-point fourth-quarter lead, Newton broke free of the pocket and raced 62 yards for a key first down with 2:00 remaining. Stewart scored his career-high third TD when he jumped over the line of scrimmage, reaching the ball across the goal line for the winning points. Minnesota couldn't manage a first down on its final drive and turned over the ball on downs. Cowboys 30, Giants 10. East Rutherford, N.J.A.P. Dak Prescott threw 3 touchdown passes and the desperate Cowboys spoiled Steve Spagnuolo's debut as interim coach, as well as the return of quarterback Eli Manning to the Giants' starting lineup. Prescott threw a go-ahead 20-yard score to tight end Jason Witten with 7:38 to play. Rod Smith scored on an 81-yard pass play with 4:08 left and added a 15-yard scoring run a little more than a minute later after an interception by Sean Lee. Prescott, who was 20 of 30 for 332 yards, also threw a 50-yard scoring pass to Dez Bryant as the Cowboys, 7-6, stayed in the playoff hunt with 3 games left in the regular season. Dan Bailey added a 21-yard field goal as the Cowboys finished with 454 yards. New York fell to 2-11. Manning, who got a standing ovation taking the field, threw a 1-yard TD pass to Rhett Ellison late in the second quarter that gave New York a brief 10-3 lead. Manning finished 31 of 46 for 228 yards with the touchdown and 2 late interceptions. The game capped a hectic week for the Giants that started Monday with the firing of second-year coach Ben McAdoo and general manager Jerry Reese, and saw Spagnuolo promoted from defensive coordinator to interim coach. He coached the St. Louis Rams from 2009 to 11. Lions 24, Buccaneers 21. Tampa, FLA, AP. Matthew Stafford passed for 381 yards with an injured throwing hand and set up Matt Prater for a 46-yard field goal in the closing seconds. Stafford made his 109th consecutive start despite being limited in practice after his right hand was stepped on during the previous week at Baltimore. He completed 36 of 44 attempts against the Bucs, 4-9, and the Lions, 7-6. Overcame 2 interceptions and a fumble to stop a 2-game losing streak. Jameis Winston rallied Tampa Bay, which has lost 8 of 10 following a 2-1 start, with a pair of fourth-quarter TD passes. But once again, the Bucs defense couldn't hold off an opponent down the stretch. Stafford moved the Lions 49 yards in 8 plays to set up Prater's winning kick with 20 seconds left, the winning drive of the quarterback's career, and 4th this season. 49ers 26, Texans 16. Houston, AP. Jimmy Garoppolo threw for a career-high 334 yards and a touchdown to help the 49ers to their second straight win. Garoppolo again showed that he could be the answer for the 49ers. 3-10 at quarterback, going 20 of 33 in his second start for the team. Acquired before the trade deadline from New England, Garoppolo threw for 293 yards in his debut last week to help the 49ers to a 15-14 win at Chicago. The game was tied when he found Garrett Selleck on a 6-yard touchdown pass with about 2 minutes left in the third quarter to make it 23-16. Selleck had a big play earlier in that drive on a 61-yard reception on third down. DeAndre Hopkins had 149 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns, but lost a fumble in the fourth quarter with the Texans down by 7. San Francisco added a 41-yard field goal after that to secure the victory. T.J. Yates threw for 175 yards and 2 touchdowns after Tom Savage left with a concussion in the second quarter. Texans, 4-9, lost their third straight and sixth in 7 games. Bears 33, Bengals 7, Cincinnati. AP. Rookie Mitchell Trubisky threw for a touchdown and ran for another in his best showing yet, and the Bears ended a 5-game losing streak with their most lopsided victory in 5 years. Jordan Howard ran for 147 yards and a pair of touchdowns as the Bears, 4-9, dominated a matchup of the NFL's worst defenses. Their rookie quarterback took full advantage of an injury-depleted defense, completing a season-high 25 passes out of 32 attempts for 271 yards. He also ran 4 yards for a score. The Bengals, 5-8, were coming off a 23-20 loss to the Steelers on Monday night that crushed their playoff hopes and gutted their defense. The Bears piled up a season-high 482 yards against a unit missing starting cornerbacks Adam Pac-Man Jones and Drake Kirkpatrick, as well as linebackers Vontaze Burfict and Nick Vigil. It was Cincinnati's worst home drubbing since a 34-3 loss to Baltimore in 2008. Many of the 52,002 fans headed for the exits early in the fourth quarter. For more NFL coverage, http://www.pro32 app. Oregon http www.twitter.com AP_NFL. Copyright 2017 The Associated Press. All rights reserved. This material may not be published, broadcast, rewritten or redistributed.